Hey guys, Brittany here. So it is time for my monthly favorites. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is I only watched one movie this month, and that was Avengers: Infinity War. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I really don't want to talk spoilers. But all I can say was it was amazing. I enjoyed every minute of it. I would go see it again, but I don't exactly have that much money right now. It was funny, it was entertaining, it was heartbreaking at points, it was shocking. Like, just this movie had everything I could ever want. It totally lived up to the hype. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars because there's just like little nitpicky things that kind of I wasn't a huge fan of, but like I said, just little nitpicky things. But yeah, other than that, I enjoyed it. And if you've not seen Avengers, what are you doing? Go see Avengers: Infinity War. So the next thing I want to talk about is I listened to one new artist this month, and that is an artist that I've heard a lot about, but for some reason I haven't listened to her, and I'm kind of kicking myself for that right now, because that is Janelle Monáe. I listened to her newest album, Dirty Computer, because I was seeing a lot of hype about it, and one of my friends on Tumblr, she's a big fan of Janelle, and she sent me a link to her music video for Make Me Feel, and after listening to that, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then as soon as the album dropped, I went on Spotify and I listened to the whole thing. Plus, I watched her Emotion Picture, which is amazing. And just, Dirty Computer was so good. I love Janelle's voice. I love the beats and the music in her songs. I love her lyrical content. Just everything about Dirty Computer was amazing. I loved it so much. And I'm definitely going to check out Janelle's other albums, because if they're as amazing as Dirty Computer, then I think I found a new favorite artist. But some of my favorite tracks from the album were Dirty Computer, Crazy Classic Life, Take a Bite, Django Jane, Pink, Make Me Feel, I Like That, So Afraid, and Americans. So yeah, I would highly recommend listening to Janelle's Dirty Computer. Also watch her Motion Picture. It's a beautiful representation of her albums. The next thing I want to talk about is musicals. So at the beginning of the month, I watched Jesus Christ Superstar live on NBC. I'm a big fan of the NBC musicals. I missed The Sound of Music. Peter Pan was a little cringy. I adored The Wiz. I liked Hairspray. And overall, I liked Jesus Christ Superstar. Now, to clarify, I've never seen Jesus Christ Superstar, and I've only heard one song from it, Jesus Christ Superstar. I was going in completely blind. This is my first exposure to the show, and I really liked it. I really want to see this show now. It's so good. I think the standout performances to me were by the actor who played Judas and the actor who played, I don't know how to say, he was the character that they brought to Jesus to execute him. There, that's the best way I can sum it up. But yeah, him and Judas were the standouts to me. I liked Alice Cooper, but I felt like I just kind of wanted more from him. So I was a little disappointed. But then again, like I said, this is my first time seeing anything in the show, so I don't know if that's what his character is supposed to do. But I just kind of wanted more energy, I guess, is what I was looking for. I loved Sarah Bareilles as Mary Magdalene. And as much as I love Sarah Bareilles' albums, like I think I own every album she's released, I really want her to do more musicals because I think she's so good. So yeah, I think the weakest point was John Legend as Jesus Christ. And I mean, I give him complete props because this is definitely not his expertise, musical theater. So I do give him props for stepping out of his comfort zone and doing something different. And his voice was good. It's just he didn't give me as much energy as the rest of the cast was giving me. And when you looked at him against all the other actors, it just kind of was noticeable that this is not what he does a lot. So, but I totally give him all the credit for going out there and doing something different. But yeah, I really like Jesus Christ Superstar. If they release it on DVD, I'll probably buy it. I really enjoyed the show. I still maintain the best NBC live musical they've done is The Wiz Live. It's the best one. So the next thing is I only read one book, which is why you're not going to be getting a wrap-up to be read, because my plan for April was I wanted to read the Legend series by Marie Lu, read all 3 books in the series, but I hit a bit of a slump in April, like really hard, and I'm still trying to get out of it. I'm in the middle of Prodigy, but I'm not getting that far, and it's really annoying. But I did read Legend, the first book in the series, and the first time I read it, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This time I gave it 4 out of 5. It's still as good as it was the first time I read it. There's just some transitions from present day to the past that I thought weren't that great. Plus, the romance, I realized, feels a little rushed. Because, you know, these two kind of hated each other for specific reasons, and then they just kind of decide, no, I love you, or I have really deep feelings for you. Yeah, the romance just a little too rushed for me. Hopefully in May I can get out of this damn slump and I can finish Prodigy and then finish Champion and then move on to other books. Because, yeah, I hate being in slumps. It frustrates me so bad. But yeah, only read 1 book. And the last 2 things I want to talk about is some wrestling. So first we have NXT TakeOver New Orleans, which was amazing. I mean, all the TakeOver shows are pretty amazing. I can think of maybe 1 or 2 that were weak, but overall they're usually amazing. The standout matches for me were the ladder match for the first North American champion and the Johnny Gargano-Tommaso Ciampa match. Those were amazing. I really liked the Andrade Cien Almas versus Aleister Black NXT Championship match. I thought that was really good. It was it felt a little weak to me compared to Andrade's past matches with, like, Gargano. It just felt kind of meh. Also, I feel like Aleister's previous matches with, like, Velveteen Dream have been stronger. So I don't know if it was just maybe Andrade and Aleister didn't mesh as well as I was hoping, but it was still a really solid match, but I wasn't blown away by it. Also, that's how I feel about the NXT Tag Team Championship and the NXT Women's Championship match. They were good matches, really solid, but they didn't blow me away. I will admit, I did like the Ember Moon Shayna Baszler match better at New Orleans than the previous TakeOver. I felt the previous TakeOver, those two didn't mesh well, and it was kind of a weak match. But at New Orleans, I felt it was a lot stronger, and I actually really enjoyed Shayna in the ring. So, I mean, kudos to that. But yeah, overall, NXT TakeOver New Orleans was great. I loved it. Then the last thing I want to talk about is WrestleMania 34. And side note, real quick, I forgot to mention it. You can find reactions to both TakeOver New Orleans and WrestleMania 34 in my Wrestling Reactions playlist. So if you want to check that out, you should go do that. WrestleMania 34 was a solid show. It was fun, but it wasn't a perfect show. There was a lot of weak matches to me. But the standout matches were the triple threat for the Intercontinental title, the SmackDown Women's Championship match, and surprisingly to me, because I didn't think it was going to be that good of a match, but the Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon match. Those 3 were the standout matches to me, and I will admit, I'm still not a big fan of Ronda Rousey. She's still got to prove herself to me, but she did really well in her first match at Mania. I was impressed. I can admit this. I think the weakest matches on the card to me were both tag titles. Those were not great matches at all. Which is really disappointing with the SmackDown tag, because it had the Usos, New Day, and Bludgeon Brothers, and I wasn't impressed with that match at all. And the thing with Nicholas was funny, but overall I was like, really, that's what we're doing? The United States title match was forgettable, and I'm still really annoyed that Rusev didn't win. And then the other match that I felt was disappointing was the Universal Championship match. But I guess to clarify, I wasn't that excited for that match anyway, so I wasn't really expecting it to be good. But yeah, that was a crappy way to end the night. So, and then all the other matches on the card, I would say range from good to decent. So yeah, like I said, overall it was a fun show. It didn't quite live up to a WrestleMania feel to me. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like a really long and fun show, but for a WrestleMania, I was like, this is decent. But yeah, so those were my favorites for the month of April. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me down below if you have seen or read any of the or listened to any of the things I mentioned. What are your thoughts on them, and what are some of the favorite things you discovered for the first time in April? Let me know. Let's talk down below. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye guys.